Hey, Bublynn, coming in, crushing this. All right, we're back at it, talking about Gemini Moon, Cancer Sun. So a little bit about Gemini is they just want to know, right? It's almost like not necessarily wanting to commit as much as Libra or as much as Aquarius, right? So, because Aquarius would commit to what works and Libra would commit to what it loves. Whereas Gemini will commit to the fact that you can't commit to things. More like a stem cell. It'd be like, well, I want to be able to go in every direction. I want to know every direction. I want to know what directions I can go. But I don't necessarily like want to really go down one really deep, you know? So that's Gemini. Yeah, ruled by Mercury, and it's also air, like just wants to stir, trying to figure out all the forms and projections it can take, right? Yeah. So this is coming from a relatable way, right? Like I just want to know, not necessarily trying to cause havoc, but like potentially could, just because it's like almost like knowledge is power, and it's like, well, be careful. Like sometimes when you're just kind of starting stuff up, like, and it doesn't look bad, right? It doesn't feel bad. Like stuff under the surface could actually be stirring up that could be worse, right? Because like air is going to take a relatable form, right? Like with gossip or something like this, and maybe um, it's not necessarily going to look bad on the surface, but then slowly but surely, like things are going to be brewing underfoot that are more like watery or more like sub-level and that are going to cause some type of event to happen. But so yeah, so then acting actually in a watery way, Cancer way, this would be like trying to hold on to something and trying to create enough of this to where it can grow, right? So really sticking to the past though, it's like, oh my gosh, like I think we have something there. Let's go back. Let's make sure we have everything there. Let's make sure we have everything gathered in order to act that way. And then it's water, so it's very much in the past, but also receptive. So it's very much um, like what was trying to act in ways that nurture what you know, right? Um, but also being receptive to new ways, so being very receptive, right? So maybe like to the point where that could be like almost an issue because you're trying to hold on or like work with what you know, but there's always these new things coming on influencing that. um, so yeah, so that would be acting in a way that is, so this would be a very relatable person, right? Because we have water and air. So this would be acting in a way that's very relatable and coming from a relatable place. So not really wanting to be on the opposing end of things, on the well, fuck you, like straight up disrespectful kind of energy, right? Um, or straight up burning bridges type of energy. This wouldn't really want to fuck with that too much. And then we have the air, which you're coming from a place where you always want to find new things, but you're always acting in a way where you want to be in the past. Like you don't necessarily want to switch it up. So it's like it's almost like you're in your place and you're in your zone and you're trying to nurture this thing, but there's always these new things coming into it or that you're kind of letting in or that you're finding and stuff like this and that are kind of changing what that space to look like and what is like your past and what is what you're going back to in a way and like what you connect to, because it is very like it is very with the Cancer Sun, it is just very much trying to go back and within and bring that out versus really trying to bring new out of you, like have completely new experiences. It is really trying to go back and rediscover who is you versus who you are and you need to expand on that. So because that would be more Scorpio, right? The Mars on the water versus the Moon on the water. So yeah, so yeah, coming from a place that's very relatable, acting in a way that's very relatable, coming from a place where like things stir up, you know what I mean, and you're used to things shifting and you're used to being adaptable, but also acting in a way where you're just trying to make what you know and what you love kind of come together, you know what I mean, and you're not necessarily trying to you're not trying to go for old things, like you're trying to stick with the past, but and that's how you find yourself um, coming across, right? But you really are coming from a place where you're more comfortable with shifts within that zone. It just may be that your actions are keeping you kind of in a zone, and then your moon, what you're used to, is kind of attracting things that are kind of changing that up and kind of shifting what that looks like, but not really the place. Whereas if you had a fire moon, maybe it would kind of shift up the place, really, really. So yeah. So anyway, that's a little bit about Gemini moon, Cancer sun. Yeah. hit me up, BublynnD@gmail.com, for any more knowledge. And maybe we could just talk, Anyway, hey, Bublynn, Sitra, Beach out.